Aquarius, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late December, moving into early January 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in energy and see what's happening for the lovely Aquarius collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for the lovely Aquarius collective as we switch to a brand new year? We are smack dab in the middle of the holiday season still. As you can tell, I'm feeling pretty festive still. So I hope you're all having a great couple days or weeks here. But we're going to see what energies, messages, insights want to come through. And we're going to take a real quick look at this first card, and we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Aquarius. Late December, early January. What's the vibe? Real quick. Okay, so this energy is a little intense. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. To me, it just feels intense, just like how I described it. Now, normally I do say this card reminds me of the Ten of Wands. Now, there's some good aspects of the Ten of Wands that we do want to lean into, but there's also things we want to watch out for. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the December subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk about this card. So as you can see depicted here, we have this individual kind of like hunched over with another person literally on their back. So this person is kind of bearing the weight or bearing the brunt of something. So to me, it feels heavy, very similar to the Ten of Wands. Now, the good aspect of the Ten of Wands to me is that it's a huge energy of determination, willpower. When I decide it, this is what I do. This is where I'm going. I will not stop. It's a very committed card, and I just love the forward momentum and push. The Ten of Wands is no quitter, even if something gets heavy. It can also tie into vitality, energy levels. So for some of you, if you're feeling a little zapped, if you're feeling a little low, that could just be natural energy fluctuations to keep an eye on when this card is here. And I always say specifically watch out for areas like your neck, back, and spine when this card shows up, because you might be holding a lot of tension there. But it's heavy, it's intense. That's the big thing. So for a lot of Aquariuses out there, you might just be experiencing very intense emotions, feelings, fluctuations. It could be a variety of things. It could even swing in the good way too. It just feels like a lot. So we're going to let them chill right there, pace themselves. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for Aquarius. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. So the energy last week was unique, and I wasn't the biggest fan of it, to be honest. I got a little fired up doing the reading. The reading was titled Beware This Person. Now, a lot of the energy that was coming through, it felt intense, just like this energy here, but it felt aggressive. And it even at points felt bully-like to me, where I felt like, all right, this energy is pushing way too hard, pushing way too much, pushing way too many buttons. So hopefully you didn't have any dealings with individuals like that, but we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone, so only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going here. 3 cards for Aquarius. Late December, early January. Let's start this on a good note. Maybe we will. All right. So we have the Two of Pentacles. I don't want to speak too soon because it popped out with another card, and it's okay. We got the Ten of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles, pardon me, and we have a 10, but not the Ten of Pentacles yet. Got the Ten of Swords right next to it. You're not alone with this. I feel like Gemini had the Ten of Swords. Let's get one more. And there's the Ten of Pentacles. Wow. If I didn't read jumpers, I mean, I can't believe that. All right. Tarot absolutely blows my mind sometimes. Like, how can I mention the Ten of Pentacles twice and once by accident and then it pops out? So we got double tens, and I love how the energy seems to balance off. That's the overarching view that I'm getting already. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. At first glance, just like a lot of other signs this week, you were very much earth heavy with the energy. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing. And I always like to look at the elements. It always gives us clues about how things are moving. But yeah, with the Two of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, very, very earthy. Now, the good thing about earth energy can represent work, business, finances, investments, money, feelings of security. That could be very big for a lot of Aquariuses, whether you're feeling secure or not so secure. All of that can be in play when there's a lot of pentacles. For some of you, might be in money mode, where it's like, all right, need these pentacles, going to get these pentacles. Nothing wrong with that. Um, the downside, and of course, it could represent home and family, living situation, you name it. But the downside to too much pentacles is a feeling of stuck, or a feeling like I'm not making progress, or something's not moving how I like it to move. Remember, pentacles are a very long lasting type of energy. We also have your power element right here, even though it's a Ten of Swords. Swords are air, and Aquarius, although you're the water bearer, you're technically an air sign. So the realm of communication, the realm of the mind, the logical mind, pragmatic, plan based, logical, honest. That's what I love about it. The downside to air energy, though, sometimes it could be cold and detached. Um, Depending on the situation, that might not be a bad thing, but it could be harsh sometimes. So you see what I mean? We have like this very, very secure energy, then we have this aloof energy happening here. Let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, we are starting with the Two of Pentacles. Now, the one thing I really like is the dynamic of all these cards. Very intriguing to me. How we start with the Two of Pentacles, harmonious, balanced. You see him? He's kind of balancing those two pentacles. And then we go like Ten of Swords, Ten of Pentacles right next to it. So it's like we're balancing the good with the bad and the bad with the good. We're weighing something out here. It feels very Libra-esque to me. Think of Lady Justice with her scales. That's how I'm feeling. Now, the Two of Pentacles, to me, as with all twos, could represent choices, decisions, being at a crossroads, partnerships, all those can be in play. But normally the Two of Pentacles is the most harmonious one, the best choice, the best decision, something that just seems to work out. It's calm, it's zen. So I really like this. So maybe some Aquarius is out there, you're very much unbothered by something, or maybe Spirit wants you to act unbothered for one reason or another. We'll see as we move through the reading itself. The downside to the Two of Pentacles, of course, can represent something that's out of whack, something that's not fair or balanced. But I always say this person's also juggling. So you might have a lot on your mind. You might have a lot on your plate. You might have a lot on your emotions when this is here. It's like there's a lot. I'm juggling, I'm juggling, I'm juggling. So make sure you're not burning yourself out. So we'll circle back on this Two of Pentacles. Normally, I feel like it's a very good thing. It's also karmic in nature, right? Notice it has an infinity sign showing up here in the card. Now, moving to the middle, we have the Ten of Swords. And a lot of you know, if you watch tarot, if you read tarot, it's not the nicest energy, actually. In fact, it's one of the more difficult cards in the deck, but that's okay because we do have that offset balance coming up. Now, Ten of Swords, as with all tens, can represent endings. This one is a bit rough and tough. This could represent pain. It could represent loss. It could represent something that's not easy. And I always say with these challenge cards, they're always on a spectrum. Like sometimes it could just be something residual that you've been feeling for quite a while. For some of you, maybe this is fresh and new, and you're still working through this, and that's okay. But the Ten of Swords energy is showing up. So I'm not saying like, hey, it's all going to come crashing down, Aquarius. I'm not saying that, but it could be a Ten of Swords that's already happening. It's just not sitting right, and that's fine. There is no timetable on it. The good thing about the Ten of Swords, to me, I see it as there's nowhere to go but up. I don't want to say like this is someone at rock bottom, but when I see the Two of Pentacles into the Ten of Swords, it's like, okay, now we're going to improve. Now we're going to keep moving upwards. And I get that even more when we have the Ten of Pentacles right next to it, the complete total offset to the Ten of Swords. So I'm not sure if these energies cancel each other out, or if there was something rough followed by something good, something that's rough in the short term but very good in the long term. This could potentially be a win in the end. I'm already picking it up intuitively, like a payoff, a win in the end. Now, the Ten of Pentacles is expansive, whereas this one is lost. This one is expanding. It's growing. It's leveling up, so to speak. So I really like this, especially for money and financial stuff. But it's not only that. It can be home and family, of course. But remember, all tens are endings, whereas this one is rough and tough. This is a happy ending. So we have this interesting dichotomy going on this week that I can't wait to explore. Now, obviously, the downside to the Ten of Pentacles, just like all Pentacles, is that sometimes it could be an energy that's stuck, that's still lingering, just like we were saying with this Ten of Swords. So yeah, maybe there is this not so savory energy or feeling or situation that you've dealt with where the energy lingers. But I want to dive deeper on all of this. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for you. And yes, I always like to go intuitive at this point just to see whether it's, I'm just telling you how it feels to me. So we're just going to get it going here. So, you know, all readers, it's about their interpretation, my good friends. So let's start in on this Ten of Pentacles. Like this energy, it's got me locked in. Like seeing the Ten of Swords, Ten of Pentacles, it's like, all right, what's going on here? Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you have any messages you want to give to Aquarius, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, let's get this Two of Pentacles going. Why is it here for my friends? Cute. Okay. Maybe give something time. That's initially how it's feeling to me. So I have the Page of Pentacles in reverse underneath the Two of Pentacles. And normally pages, they want to talk things out, right? Like normally pages want to send a message, put it all out on the table. We're going to have a conversation. We're going to have a talk. When I see the Two of Pentacles with the Page of Pentacles in reverse, it's like, I'm going to hit the pause button here. I'm not going to say anything for now. I'm a big believer that when it comes to emotions and situations and feelings, communication is key. I'm not saying that this is someone that needs to ignore, but for a portion of you, you might be dealing with somebody that has communication issues. You might be dealing with someone that's very difficult for them to open up, and it might take a little bit of time. Page in reverse under the Two of Pentacles to me is that classic energy of someone retreating, going within, and realigning, so to speak. If that's not the case, there might be something that pops up or something that you're dealing with where spirit wants you to be patient, patient with yourself, patient with those around you, and just give it some time. So sometimes it's better to attack an issue, sometimes it's better to ignore it. This kind of leans more towards the ignore. I hate to say that. But it's not even necessarily ignoring an issue or problem or situation. It's like, all right, I will at some point, just not right this second. So, like, spirit might want you to not give energy to something at this point. Either that or it's just somebody going within. It's like, oh, I'm not speaking about it. Let's keep going. We're going to go in on that Ten of Swords. We're not going to force that energy to talk if it doesn't want to, right? So, why is the Ten of Swords here? I really want to get to the Ten of Pentacles, too. Cute. Okay. This is so peculiar. All right, so we have the Nine of Wands in the upright. This is extremely, extremely cautious energy here. Again, I'm not saying this is spirit saying like Aquarius, watch out, red flag, big alarms, there's something you need to be very careful of. I mean, for some of you, maybe, but that's not like the predominant energy I'm picking up here. When I see the Ten of Swords with the Nine of Wands, there's a situation, an ending, a problem, something I've dealt with that has left an impact on me. It is not fully healed, and I'm still working through it. That's the big thing. The miscommunication or the not speaking, that's another big thing that's showing up here. So, again, whether it's advice, whether it's something you're doing, all this energy is being very sealed lipped, hush hush type of vibe. So again, maybe there is something you need to give it some time. Another big thing I always pick up with this wounded warrior and the Ten of Swords is feelings of rejection. Okay, so I'm not saying it to. Maybe there's someone you're dealing with where they have like some subconscious old triggers of abandonment and rejection that may have gotten ticked here. Like I'm getting hyper specific. I'm trying not to, Aquarius. So only take this how it hits for you. But with the Ten of Swords and the Nine of Wands, either it's someone that's trying to avoid that again. There's subconscious stuff. There's rejection energy. There's just a lot happening here. So could be a problem or a situation, but it's all quiet, very hush hush. Let's keep moving over to the Ten of Pentacles. That is what it is. But both energies are being very quiet, or that might be the best route. But let's see what the Ten of Ten of Pentacles. Pardon me. Watch the Ten of Cups come out now. So why is the Ten of Pentacles here? Not quite. Not quite. And I think I like how this energy ends. All right, so we have the High Priestess in the upright, the intuition. I think this is very important to hold this energy here on the back, regardless of what you may or may not be dealing with. I don't want to say the energy to me feels unbothered. But to me, it's an energy that always assumes the best, that always assumes that the universe is not working against me, that the universe is working for me, that I am lucky, that things will work out, even if I don't know how or when, who, what, where, when, why. I don't need all those details. I just know where I'm heading. I just know what the end goal is. And that's usually very important when it comes to manifesting. And remember, the high priestess, she does represent the intuition, the feelings. So when I see her with the Ten of Pentacles, it's like I just have a feeling something good is going to happen to me. Whether it is the universe balancing the scales or something that was bad that happened to me, whether it's the universe balancing those karmic scales and bringing in karmic justice, that could be very possible too. But to me, this feels like an unexpected or a surprising win or victory. It just does, right? Because remember, she's very mysterious, she's very quiet. And with all this energy up here, the not talking, the miscommunication, the pain, the patterns, the habits, when I see the Ten of Pentacles with her, it's like, but it's going to turn out fine. Like it might not be fine here, might not look fine. This energy could be really rough. Everyone's got their own stuff that they're dealing with. Ten of Pentacles, High Priestess, know that it's going to work out for you. Know that the universe works for you, not against you. So it feels reinvigorating to me. So I love this energy on the back end. And to me, it tells me that something is going to go right or be put right, even if you don't know how or why or all the moving parts. Sometimes we don't even need to know. We just need to believe and know and manifest our ideal result. Look at the end goal. So that to me is an unexpected or surprising win. So this reading this week is very much up and down in a lot of different ways, but it does balance itself off. That's the thing I like about this week as opposed to last week. It's like things start to balance. But if you kindly look in the box, let's do a quick recap before the shadow card. We start here in the front with the Two of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles in reverse. Whether it's Spirit wanting you to not say something, not speak to someone, give it a minute. Maybe this is someone going within and recoiling in some sort of way. Um, could be a variety of different reasons why. But to me, it's like just give it a minute, give it a second, let the energy marinate. That was the big overarching theme. And watch out for communication issues. Moving into the middle, yeah, we got some discomfort, right? We got some energies, rejection and pain and abandonment and all that stuff. I'm not going to go through the whole list again, but the Ten of Swords with the Nine of Wands is something that has happened and it's sticking, like it's sticking around. It does get offset. It does get made right. It does get balanced. Because we get to the back end, we have the Ten of Pentacles with the High Priestess, where I might be here in the process, I might be right there in the process, or maybe I'm here. But this is where I'm going. This is the unexpected, surprising win that's coming in. And I don't need to know how or why or the timing. I just know it's going to happen. So I think Spirit wants you to assume the best with something. And that's a very powerful thing. And that's a very powerful mode to be in. So I think it's great. The energy does balance off. So at least we have a happy ending here, Aquarius. But please take a screenshot if you want to look into that further. Let's see what's in the shadows. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. What do we got for Aquarius, please? What do we got for our good friends? And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing too. So let's get you one. And yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this going here. What's in the shadows? Two of Cups. Nice. All right, so I like the Two of Cups. Even if you're not watching this for like interpersonal relationships or friends or anything like that, this is a very smooth, silky, flowing type of energy, which is great. Now, the good thing about it, it's a support system. It's someone that's there to help you. Even if they're not there right now, they could eventually be there to assist you in one way or another. But this can also represent someone that you really care deeply for. For a small portion of Aquariuses, there could be a strong energetic tie between you and another, and you might still feel it for whatever reason. But there could be some caution that Spirit wants you to put around partnerships as well. If we look at the shadow side of the Two of Cups, just watch who and what you're letting into your life at this time. That's all I'll say. Especially with the reading I saw last week, just be careful of new arrivals. Or, yeah, we'll leave it at that. We're just going to put it down right there, Aquarius. That's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet. I'm going to give you the details of the December subscriber surprise. If you would like further clarification on your situation, you can book a personal reading with me at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. My December schedule is live right now, and the spots go quick, so go check it out, see what's available if you want to have a chat with me. But for the December subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 3 copies of one of my favorite decks for all skill levels, the Gilded Tarot Royale. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed, and second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the tarot cards, which one do you resonate with most? When you see it in a reading, it's like, yeah, that's me. Put your answer in the comments. You'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in the community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.